Hello, welcome again. This day I am taking few questions on the topic we had discussed earlier, which on electric field lines and electric dipole. So without wasting any more time, let us start with the very first question, which is here. So read question very carefully, at least twice. So 2-point charge is plus 16 microcoulomb, it is micro, 16 microcoulomb and minus 9 microcoulomb are placed 8 centimeter apart in air, right? You have to find the position of the point where the resultant electric field is 0. Resultant electric field is 0. So to start with, we have to draw the situation into a diagram. So we are given two charges. One is plus 16 microcoulomb, which is at point A, for example. Another charge which is minus 9 microcoulomb at point B, and these two charges are separated by 8 centimeter, so which we can write as 0.08 meter in SI system. Now we have to find out one point where the electric field, resultant electric field or net electric field due to these two charges is 0. If we place any charge, so if electric field at any point, if we find it is 0, that simply means if we place an electric charge at that point, it will move nowhere, right? The net electric field at that point will be 0. If we think about the same point between these two charges, we see that the net electric field not will be 0. So what will happen? The net electric field will be always be directed in this direction. Hence, there will be no point between the two charges where the electric field will be 0. The electric field due to first charge and electric field due to second charge, both will be along the same direction. Net electric field cannot be 0. We have to find out a situation where at that point the two electric fields due to one charge and the other charge are opposite to each other, and also they have equal magnitudes. We have to find out that point which is asked here in this question. In this situation, whenever at that point two electric fields will be equal in magnitude but direction will be opposite to each other along the same line of action, only then net electric field at this point will be 0, which is called as resultant electric field. So the first situation is that in between the two charges there can be no point where electric field is 0, because both electric fields are along the same direction. What about taking a point to the left side? For example, if we take a point here P, what will be the direction of electric field? Again, due to negative charge it will be in this direction, due to positive charge it will be in this direction. So again the electric field will not be 0, because this charge is strong. This charge is comparatively stronger, or we can say have higher magnitude as compared to the minus 9. So here also there cannot be any point at which the electric field will be 0. What about taking the point on the right side? So let us take a point on the right side, for example P. Okay. So this point can possibly be a point where the electric field can be 0. If we place a positive charge here, if we place a positive charge at this point, this positive charge will repel that and hence electric field will be away, and this negative charge will attract it. And because this has higher magnitude, so it can exert a sufficient amount of force at longer distance in comparison to this one. So this can be a point on the right side of smaller charge minus q where the electric field, net electric field or resultant electric field can be 0. Let us take that this distance of this point from here, point B or minus 9 charge is x, and this one is already 0.08 meter or 8 centimeter. So in this case, if resultant electric field is 0 at point P, that would mean the electric field due to A charge which is placed at A, it will be equal in magnitude the electric field due to charge B. So in that case we can find out the position x here. Okay, Let us start with, so whatever given you can write here. So it is QA, which is plus 16 microcoulomb, and QB, which is minus 9 microcoulomb, and R is going to be 0.08 meter. So therefore, for resultant electric field at P, EA, the electric field at point P due to charge placed at point A, it will be equal in magnitude to the electric field at point P due to charge B, which is placed at B. Let us write the expressions. So EA is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into QA. QA is nothing but plus 16 microcoulomb, or I can write it as 16 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb divided by the distance of this point P from this charge, which is this one plus this one, which is AB plus BP. So I can write it as 0.08 plus x to the whole square equals the electric field due to charge B, which is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into charge, which is 9 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb divided by this distance is x. So it is x square. You have to simplify this and find the value of x. That is only the question here. So things which cancel out are this. We are left with only these terms. So it is 16 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. I am just writing the magnitudes only. We are not interested putting in the direction, taking the direction. So I am not putting a minus sign here. So magnitudes of both the electric field at point P is same. So this is what we are left with, only 0.08 plus x power 2. This is equal to 9 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb divided by x square. This also cancels out. Let us drop this term also. 10 to the power minus 6 cancels out on both sides. Now the simplest thing here we can do is to take the square root on the both sides. We are doing just mathematics. So whenever we do the square root, it just turns out to be 4 divided by square root cancels this square. So it is left with 0.08 plus x. And on the right side, on squaring, taking square root, 9 reduces to 3 and it is x in the denominator. Let us take the cross multiplication and solve. I am just writing the result. We get the value of x to be 0.24 and 0.24 by 7. One thing you must keep in mind with the minus sign here, that whenever we square root, we have to take both possibilities of plus or minus. Whenever we square this term, we will get 9 upon x square. Whether we take it to be plus 3 upon x or minus 3 upon x. So there can be both possibilities. So whenever we square root, we take the both possibilities. Whenever we take plus sign here, plus 3 upon x, and make calculation, x comes out to be 0.24. And whenever minus sign is taken here, minus 3 upon x, and made further calculation, we get this value. This value simply means that here, what is x here? X, which we have found here. What is x here? It is the distance of point P from this charge, which is at B. So minus sign is suggesting that this point is lying to the left. And we have already understood that towards the left there can be no point at which electric field will be 0. So that means this choice will be dropped. So this cannot be the possible case. Only we are left with this one. So x is equal to 0.24 meter. So therefore the point P, where we want the electric field to be 0, resultant electric field to be 0, lies towards the right of this negative 9 microcoulomb charge. Let us take the next question. There can be a number of situations where both charges are of a similar nature, magnitude may be different, or we can have some negative charge to be stronger and positive charge to be of a lesser quantity. Then you can do the question accordingly. So let us take the second question. Here is the second question. Question is that point charge is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb, or 4 microcoulomb you can say, and 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. There are two charges of similar are placed at the vertices A and B of a right angled triangle ABC respectively. So let us draw the right angled triangle. So here is the right angled triangle. Right? Let us read the further situation. B is the right angle. So here is the B. And because B is the right angle, so point charges are lying at A and B. So it is B here, let it be A here, and this is C here. So point charges are lying here. So it is 4 microcoulomb and it is 2 microcoulomb. So it is right angle here, and AC it is given to be 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter, and BC is given to be 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So what is the question? We have to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant electric field. We have to find out the resultant electric field intensity at point C. So here is point C. We have to find out the resultant electric field. The resultant of electric fields due to the charge at point A and charge at point B. Okay. So this is the diagram. You can write the things which are given here. First we write the values of electric fields due to charge at point A and charge at point B. So EA is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into charge Q upon R square. So R means AC square here. So it is QA. And EB is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into QB divided by BC square. So it is square here. Keep this thing in mind. So everything is given. We have to just make some calculations. So it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. It is simply 9 into 10 to the power 9 into this charge is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by AC square. So it is 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 whenever we square it out. And similarly EB becomes equal to this term again 9 into 10 to the power 9 into QB, which is 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by BC square, which is 10 to the power minus 2. So it becomes 10 to the power minus 4. Just make calculation and write the results. So results are EA is 9 into 10 to the power 7. Right? If you make calculation, it will come out to be 10 to the power 7. 4 cancels out with 4. This order gives 10 to the power minus 2. 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 to the power 9 gives 10 to the power 7. So this is Newton per coulomb. And similarly, in this case, it is 18 into 10 to the power 7 Newton per coulomb. So these are the electric fields due to the charges placed at point A and at point B. To find out the resultant, we must know in which direction, because electric field is a vector quantity. So the direction of electric fields due to charge A, it is in this direction because it is a positive charge here. So this is EA, and due to charge at point B, it is also a positive charge, so electric field will be away from this, so it is EB. So the net electric field, it will be somewhere in this direction, let it be E. We have to find out the resultant electric field. So this electric field, resultant electric field, it is the resultant of these two electric fields. Okay. So by vector algebra, or we can say parallelogram law of vector addition, which we can use here. By parallelogram law of vector addition, the net electric field, it is given by EA plus EB, which simply means EA square plus EB square plus 2EA EB into cos of theta, where theta is the angle between EA and EB, under root, by parallelogram law of vector addition. So this simply reduces to, if we are talking about the magnitude only, let me not take these two terms here. So in terms of magnitude, this simply reduces to substitute the values. So it is EA, which is 9 into 10 to the power 7 square, plus EB, which is 18 into 10 to the power 7 square, plus 2 into EA, which is 9 into 10 to the power 7 into EB, which is 18 into 10 to the power 7 into cos of theta. As we have discussed, this is the angle, theta is the angle between the two electric fields. So if this is theta, this is also theta. So in this triangle ABC, cos theta can be written as base upon hypotenuse. So base is for this triangle, and this angle base is this BC upon AC. So it is 10 BC upon AC. Let me write it once. So it is 10 to the power minus 2 BCs, and AC is 2 into 10 to the power minus 2. So cos theta becomes equal to 1 by 2, which is possible whenever theta is 60 degree. So we have found cos theta to be half. So from here, in this calculation, electric field, the magnitude of resultant electric field comes out to be 9 into 10 to the power 7 square plus 18 into 10 to the power 7 square plus 2 cancels out with the 2, and we are left with only, because cos theta will be 1 by 2, so we are left with only this. From here we can make some arrangement. We can take write 18 as 2 into 9. So therefore it becomes 9 into 10 to the power 7. So it is 2 into 9 into 10 to the power 7 into 9 into 10 to the power 7. So it becomes square here. We have just separated the 2, factorized 2 into 2 into 9. So it is 2 into 9 into 10 to the power 7. So 2 which is here, I am writing it here because this 2 cancels out, and it is 9 into 10 to the power 7 here, and also 9 into 10 to the power 7 here, which is square. So from here, from all these terms, we can take 9 into 10 to the power 7 out of the square. So E just becomes equal to 9 into 10 to the power 7 into root of what? Here 1 is left, plus here if we take 9 into 10 to the power 7, 2 is left. The square of 2 means 4 plus 2, because this is taken out. So from here this is equal to 7 under root. So 9 into 10 to the power 7 into under root of 7. So whenever we make some calculation, we find the result to be 2.38 Newton per coulomb. Whenever you make some mathematical calculation, you get this value 2.38 Newton per Coulomb. So this is the magnitude of resultant electric field. What about the direction? To calculate the direction, we have again the parallelogram law of vector addition, which simply says, suppose that this is the net electric field making an angle alpha with this component. So therefore tan alpha, this is equal to EA sin theta divided by EA plus EB cos theta. You simply have to substitute the value of EA and EB from here, and sin theta you can calculate it here because theta is 60 degree as we have found earlier. When we substitute the values and make some calculation, this value comes out to be 0.866, and if we take the help of the tables, mathematical tables, alpha is found to be 40.9 degree. So this is how we find the direction of this electric field in this particular situation. No question is difficult, only you have to find out that what topic it is from. Okay, let us take the next question. Which you can read here. Draw the diagram representing the non-uniform electric field. Uniform electric field, as we have discussed in case of electric dipole, which is placed in uniform electric field. So uniform electric field is the one which is represented by electric field lines directed along the same direction and equally spaced. All electric field lines will be equally spaced. And what about non-uniform electric field? Non-uniform electric field represent either the field lines will be having different spacing. So here the electric field is different, here the electric field is different, or they have different directions. So these field lines are representing a non-uniform electric field, because the regions where electric field lines, points where electric field lines are wide apart, electric field is weak, and the points where electric field lines are closer or crowded comparatively, the electric field is stronger. So these are the examples of non-uniform electric field. Let us take another question. This is also an interesting question. An electric dipole of moment P is placed in a uniform electric field E. There is an electric dipole having moment, dipole moment P. It is placed in some uniform electric field E, right? So write the expression for the torque experienced by the dipole. Situation is very much as we have discussed in last day. It is the diagram of uniform electric field, and here it is the dipole with a negative and a positive charge, making some angle theta with the electric field. So this dipole is having some moment P from negative to positive charge, so making an angle theta. So therefore torque, as we have discussed earlier, this is equal to P into E into sine of angle between them, which is theta here. In vector notation, tau is equal to P cross E. This is in terms of magnitude and this is in terms of vector. So first part of question is complete. Show diametrically So diagrammatically, the orientation of the dipole in the field for which the torque is maximum and second part is 0. So for torque to be maximum, when we will have the torque to be maximum? Torque will be maximum whenever this term, this is the only term which is changing. So this has to be maximum. So maximum value of this is 1, which is for 90 degree. Right? So for torque to be maximum, theta has to be 90 degree. Or we can say sin theta has to be maximum, which is 1, which simply means that theta is 90 degree. So whenever dipole makes an angle of 90 degree with the electric field, the torque on the dipole will be maximum. So that is the first part. So diagrammatically, how we can draw it? Here it is the electric field, uniform electric field. So dipole has to be perpendicular, so that it makes an angle of 90 degree with the electric field, because the moment in this case is in this direction. So that is the first part. And what about second part? The torque is to be minimum, or we can say 0. When the torque will be 0? Torque will be 0 only when this term will be 0, because these two cannot be 0. So this term has to be 0. So for torque to be 0, sin theta has to be 0, which is possible only when theta is 0 degree. Theta 0 degree means this dipole is aligned along the direction of electric field. So how do we represent this situation of 0 torque? Diagrammatically, here it is the electric field, uniform electric field. So whenever dipole lies in this way, so that electric field as well as its moment are along the same direction, because theta in this particular case it will be 0 degree. So in that case torque will be 0. So this is how such questions are carried out. Let us take one final question for this session. Okay, two small identical dipoles AB and CD. So here it is the diagram representing the situation. There are two dipoles AB and CD. So it is AB plus Q charge here, minus Q charge here. Because dipoles are identical. Identical dipole means they are having the equal charges as well as their lengths are also equal, so that their dipole moments are equal. Okay, and CD. Here it is CD. At point C we have plus charge mentioned here and minus charge here. Each of dipole moment P, both are having the dipole moment P, which are directed along the situation. In case of AB dipole, the direction of dipole moment is in this way, and in case of other one it is in this way. Both are having the same dipole. So both the dipoles are kept at an angle of 120 degree. Please take it as 120 degree, not 130 degree as per the diagram. So both the dipoles are inclined at 120 degree. That means the dipole moments of both the dipoles are inclined at 120 degree. This is the situation here. Then we have to find out what is the resultant dipole moment of this combination. Two dipole moments are vector quantities. Their resultant can be found by the again parallelogram law of vector addition. So you can, in first step you can write what is given in the question, and then according to parallelogram law of vectors, resultant dipole, for example it is P dash, let me write it as P dash. This is given by the first dipole moment, because both are same, so I can write it as P square plus P square, because both are same, plus 2 into P into cos of angle between them, which is 120 degree here. So that simply means resultant dipole moment, it will be, so from here it is 2p square plus it is 2p square into cos 120, which is minus 1 by 2. So from here p dash simply results, 2 cancels out with the 2 and we have a minus sign here, so it is 2p square minus p square, so which is p square under root, which simply means p. So resultant dipole moment is equal to p, coulomb meter. And what is the next part of the question? So this is the resultant dipole, and in which direction this dipole will be? Resultant dipole. So if this system is subjected to electric field E directed along x-axis, what will be the magnitude and direction of the torque acting on this? So if this dipole having the resultant dipole moment to be P, this system of two dipoles having the resultant dipole moment to be P, which is same as the individual dipole moments. So the resultant because both dipole moments are same, identical, then the resultant dipole will have some direction just like this. So this will be 60 degree. So this will also be 60 degree. It will be 9 symmetrically to both. So P dash, which is P here again. So from this diagram, if this is 60 and this one is 90, that means this angle which is left is 30 degree. So this resultant dipole having the angle 30 degree with the x-axis. So this is the situation we are left with. And according to the question, electric field is directed along x-axis. So electric field is directed along x-axis. So electric field which is directed along x-axis, it is making an angle theta with the resultant dipole. So this system is now behaving as there is one electric dipole having the dipole moment P, making an angle theta with the resultant electric field. Right? Now these two dipoles are behaving just like a single dipole having the net dipole moment to be P, making an angle theta with the electric field. So situation is again clear. What will be the magnitude and direction of the torque? Again we can use the same expression as we have discussed earlier. Magnitude of the torque, tau is equal to P into E into sine of theta. Here in this question, P is this into E is given to be E into sine theta. Theta here is 30 degree. So sine 30, which is 1 by 2. So simply torque comes out to be P into E by 2. So this is the torque in this particular case. So this is the magnitude. What about the direction? Direction of torque, as we already know, it is perpendicular to both P and E. So if we think about the situation is in the plane of the board, then torque according to right hand screw rule, whenever we rotate P towards E, the screw will advance vertically inward. So the direction of torque is, we can write direction of torque is vertically inward. So this is how we solve such kind of question. There can be a variety of questions, more number of questions you solve, more clear concept you understand.